Chapter 1. You are listening at famvetv.info. Translator. Nyo-iwo Studio Editor. Nyo-iwo Studio, I am the queen, confident and radiant. If you, on the third floor of the villa, Su-yen hummed a song as she pulled her silver suitcase down the stairs. Su-yen, are you done? Is it fun to run away from home? On the second floor, Wei Shunny shouted sarcastically. Su-yen ignored her and didn't even bother looking at her. Wei Shunny was Wei Zhou's elder sister, but in the past 3 years, she had never addressed Su-yen as sister. In law, the road between enemies was always narrow. Just as Su-yen reached the living room on the first floor, she bumped into Wei Zhou's mother, Zhong Cuiping. I can't believe this. How did the Wei family end up with a daughter. In law like you, dragging a luggage and running away from home every day? If you're not tired, we're sick and tired of this. Su-yen stopped. Her face was full of emotions. There was disgust and helplessness. She had been married to Wei Zhou and had been bullied by the Wei family for 3 years. Ordering her around every day and deliberately making things difficult for her was part of Zhong Cuiping's daily routine. If it were in the past, when faced with this arrogant mother. In law, Su-yen would have obediently listened to her lecturing and tried her best to please Zhong Cuiping, afraid that she would not fulfill the duties that a daughter. In law should do. Things were different now. She had made up her mind to leave the Wei family and part ways with that blockhead Wei Zhou. She no longer wanted Wei Zhou, whom she had a crush on for 7 years, anymore. Let alone this old lady. Su-yen was no longer weak. If you're tired, go back and rest. I didn't ask you to send me off. You can rest assured. From today onwards, you won't be tired anymore. I won't return to the Wei family. Su-yen's gaze was cold. Her usual gentleness and obedience were gone. She was like a completely different person. Zhong Cuiping frowned deeply. It was the first time she had heard Su-yen talk back to her. She could not accept it and her anger bubbled within her. Insolence. Su-yen, how dare you talk to me like that? Is this how a daughter. In law should behave? In the past, whenever she was angry, Su-yen would immediately apologize and think of ways to appease her. Su-yen laughed coldly. Insolence. Su-yen said arrogantly, perhaps it should be interpreted as me learning from my elders' examples. Su-yen gently brushed her hair and looked at Zhong Cuiping coldly. Zhong Cuiping pointed a trembling finger at Su-yen and her face was red with anger. How dare you, Su-yen? Did you take the wrong medicine today? Don't you forget, I'm your mother. In law. Su-yen laughed and her pink lips curled up. Don't worry, soon you won't be. Beep beep. Outside the villa, the sound of a car horn could be heard. Seeing that the car had arrived, Su-yen smirked. It's time for me to leave. Other than this box of my personal belongings, I've left everything else in my room, including the gold and silver jewelry that the Wei family gave me for the wedding. I've returned all of them to you. You guys can do whatever you want with them. Just don't bother me in the future. Zhong Cuiping wore an uncertain expression as she stared at Su-yen. She did not know if Su-yen was serious this time. The horn sounded twice again. Su-yen no longer dawdled. She pulled her suitcase and leisurely walked out. Your Wei family is truly made up of marvelous individuals. Su-yen could not help but mutter as she walked out. This was something that she had suppressed in her heart for 3 entire years. When Zhong Cuiping heard this, she held back the words that were on the tip of her tongue. She was so angry that her entire body trembled. Let her go. Don't bother about her. A woman like her shouldn't be in the Wei family in the first place. Look at herself. Righteous attitude. Does she really think she's important? Wei Shunny said coldly from the second floor. Zhong Cuiping had a complicated look on her face. She looked at Su-yen's back and was very puzzled. What was wrong with her daughter. In law, who was usually docile and obedient? The words, don't worry, soon you won't be, resonated in Zhong Cuiping's mind. Outside the villa, a pink Maserati sped away. Zhong Cuiping chased after Su-yen, only to see a shadow of a tail light. She really left. Wei Shunny said disdainfully, Mom, you don't have to worry. It's best if she's gone. We should be celebrating and rejoicing. Miss Lu will be back soon. She just saved us a lot of trouble by taking the initiative to leave. Zhong Cuiping did not say anything. Su Yan's departure made her heart waver, but she quickly accepted that her son could find a better woman. Well done. Yen Yen, you finally regained your dignity today. That weird mother and daughter are about to die from anger, Tang Yitong said excitedly as she drove the Maserati. Who cares about them? Su Yan sneered from the front passenger seat. From now on, I want to be myself and regain whatever I lost all these years. Excellent Era Corporation, top floor. Miss Su Yan, you can't go in. President Wei is in a meeting. Secretary Li Rong quickly stopped her. You need to make an appointment to see President Wei. Please go back. Su Yan scoffed. In the past 3 years, Li Rong had never addressed her as Mrs. Wei. This feeling of being disrespected had once driven her crazy. Listen to the full novel at famvetv.info, direct link in the description.